friends, Kim from Stamping Imperfection. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited to share with you the October 2021 release from Scrappy Tails Crafts. This is a good one because Sabrina developed these spinner card assemblies and they're very cool. She's got two different sizes. One is a Slimline, one is a Snowglobe, and then she created a whole bunch of dies that you can create like ornaments that fit inside the two spinner pieces, and they actually spin around. They have a mechanism to spin around, and you create all of it with paper just like always. And here you can see some of the fantastic things. She's got a stencil, hot foil plate Christmas sentiments, you know I got that, and then there's an angel, and then of course this is from the last release. I didn't get it the last time and decided I wanted it this time. It's like a Christmas tree builder with layered stamp and a coordinating die set. So that's from the last release. I'm not going to use that today, but you'll see that in a future video. Today I want to play with these spinner pieces. I have the Wreath spinner die set. I have the Snow Cabin spinner die set. Those are the two you see in front. And there's lots of things you can use them. I did not get the spinner pieces. I wanted to get these to create ornaments for the Christmas tree. So there are lots of things you can do with them. So I definitely will eventually make ornaments and Christmas tags out of these. So there are a couple ideas you can use these for besides those spinner cards. And the spinner cards will actually make really fun holiday decor too. So this is a snow cabin, and one of the things I love about it is Sabrina really chocks these full of lots of little things that you can use. Like take a look at this wreath one. You've got all these poinsettia flowers, and you've got the berries and the stars inside there. Like she's not wasting stuff. This Christmas tree one is gorgeous. There are two different Christmas trees, the bows, some cardinals, a street lamp, and I believe that's the base to the Christmas trees. And again, there's two different sizes there. You get the outline die or the base, and then you get an intricate die that you can cut out of a different color, so when you layer them together they look really beautiful. You could add those poinsettias in there. I love this snowflake one that she has because look at all the little snowflakes. What a great card background those would make, right? Die cut those out and create your own card background with that. Now this is a gorgeous reindeer set. I think she called this the Christmas Essentials, and the sentiments are warm winter wishes. So she intended for that to not just be for Christmas, to be for winter. She also came out with this gorgeous two-piece stencil. So she's got this curving stave along with the musical notes, and I'm thinking how pretty would all this be foiled. So pretty. Gives me the opportunity to get out my ThermoWeb foiling gel, the dual gel. So the hot foil plates, and look at all the sentiments you get there. And you know these are sentiments that we use year after year. I'm going to use one of those today on my card. And then of course this angel. My mother is definitely getting an angel ornament. And I'm super excited about this one. This looks gorgeous. I did not get it. I did not purchase it during the last release. And I saw some beautiful cards and thought, oh, I have to do that. So I decided as I look through these, it's hard to decide which one to start with, but I'm going to start with that snow cabin. I know someone else on the design team used that stencil. I know a couple people have examples of the reindeer one and so forth. Lots of people use the snowflake. So you're going to get lots of ideas today because we're having an Instagram hop. So I went ahead and die cut all my pieces. And you can see I always cut extras. If I'm going to die cut like builder stamps like this, I'm going to die cut several. So I did the cabin in brown, and you can see there's a tiny little extra door die there that like I thought about putting a red door in, and that's what you might use it for, just to cut the door out of a different color so you have a little contrast with your cabin. So I also cut out that snowy front piece. Don't you love that? You get a snowbank there. Now I'm using my glitter paper. I have a whole file full of glitter paper in my stash. If you don't get that stuff out and use it during the holiday season, when else are you going to use it? I'm giving you permission to pull that stuff out of your stash and use it. So there are two like circular background pieces here, that snowbank and then this piece. I cut this out of black glimmer paper because I thought it would make a nice night sky that way, and I thought about putting yellow behind it so those look like stars, but I decided I would use that extra piece of the glimmer paper that came out of the snowbank circle and use it to look like falling snow. So I die cut the big circular piece out of a piece of red cardstock, which I have cut to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put that piece aside. I used that piece because I knew everything would tuck into that. I'm going to do an inlaid die cutting technique today. I have a card base that's 4 1/4 by 11. I scored and folded it at 5 1/2. Then I cut a piece of dark gray out. It's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I'll essentially have a red layer, a gray layer, and then a little bit of white peeking around. I'm going to just use some liquid glue here and attach this red layer to the gray layer. The gray will actually serve as the place where I can glue my pieces into. So I'm just going to create a little cabin scene with some trees, and I've got a lot of glitter all around here just from this glitter paper that I have. Like I said, it's been in my stash for a while. So I'm going to take that. This would ordinarily be the piece that you discard, but I'm going to use it to give my snow some interest and make it look like snow. So I'm just going to try a little bit of this art glitter glue because this stuff is really sticky. It adheres immediately and it adheres well. And I'll put a little bit around the back. And I'm just going to see, I've never used this on glitter paper before, so I'm not sure whether that's going to work or not. So I'm just pressing that down. It doesn't really work that well. So I'm going to try again. And this time I'm going to put a block on top. And I don't want it to squish through any of those snowfall holes there. So I'll let the block sit for a little while too when I put it on there. And I'm really just like pressing it down really well. The one surefire thing that always works to adhere glitter to glitter for me is glue dots. So I'm pulling out my glue dots. I'm going to put some glue dots on the back of this piece. I don't use too many. I'll put 3 on the snow drift there, and then I'll put 2 or 3 on that ring around, and I sort of roll them around my craft pick, and that way they fit on that little band. And you could put, you could put those all around there if you wanted to. And next time I will probably try to remember to put the double-sided adhesive sheet on the back before I die cut it out so that my adhesive will already be on there. I always forget to grab that. I don't know why. So I have my snowbank applied, and you can see I have at least one snowflake that didn't get the white behind it, but that's okay. That's where I'm going to put my cabin. So I wanted it to look like the lights were on in the cabin, so I just cut a piece of yellow cardstock and tucked it. I'm just gluing it behind the cabin, and I'm going to tuck that cabin in, and I am going to use glue dots on the back there for the cabin. So I'll just pick that up instead of using my craft pick there. Works better that way. And the glue dots do give it a little tiny bit of dimension. So this is the smoke piece, and I cut that out in dark gray, and I'm going to try the glitter glue on the back of that, and it actually does work really well. And I'm putting that down, and it's not showing up really well, so I'm going to think for a minute on that. I decided that I would pull out my white gel pen and just trace along one edge of that. So you still see the gray smoke color, but now it stands out a little better now. So just simply putting some white gel pen worked great. So I cut out I cut out several of the 2 different sizes of trees, and I wanted to just give them a little bit of interest. So I pulled out my pine needles, distress oxide, and I'm just going along the edges and just giving them some color toward the edges. I feel like little details like that make a little bit of difference, and they just help your scene, parts of your scene just pop off the card. So you can see, and you tell I've been doing a lot of ink techniques. I have ink all over my hands. I feel like the only one that ever gets ink all over their hands. Like, I watched a couple other people's videos recently, and they have nothing on their craft table but the things that they're working with, and their hands are very clean, and their fingernails are like manicured beautifully. That is so not me. So I put my 3 trees on, and I did use the glue dots for that. And I've got my little scene created. So now I'm going to go ahead and add this to the card base, and I'm just going to do that with some liquid glue. And I have a nice amount of white peeking out around the edge of that gray. So I like the layers that I've created here. I actually would have ordinarily used black instead of gray, but the gray was sitting on my desk and it was already cut. So I decided I needed to work on a sentiment, so of course I pulled out those sentiments and my glimmer foil system. And I'm not showing the steps here because I've already done that a couple times in other Scrappy Tails videos. And I left those sentiments all attached together, and I just went ahead and foiled all of them, and I'm going to cut out the Let It Snow one. My trimmer has a nice wire there that I line up, and I know the blade goes a little to the left of the wire, so I keep that in mind as I'm cutting, but that wire allows me to actually do a really nice job cutting above and below and from side to side pretty evenly. So I can line things up and cut them pretty evenly. So now I have all those other sentiments all ready to go for the rest of these spinner things, these spinner ornaments. And I will be making ornaments. I will be making Christmas tags out of these to attach to the packages that I send. And I definitely will be making more cards with them. And I have a couple of interactive cards that I'll do in future videos that work great for these kinds of things. So you can see Sabrina's got a whole bunch of these spinner pieces in the shop, and they can be used for things other than just the spinner things. And I wanted to show you that. I think that Sabrina's stuff is so thoughtfully designed. I'm going to put links to all the things that I showed you today down below this video, and also on my blog at stampingimperfection.com. We are having an Instagram hop, and we are giving away at least 1 gift certificate, and I'm not sure what else. I'll put the details below. And if you follow us on Instagram and comment on all the stops along the Instagram, you get more chances to win, potentially win the gift certificate. And it's a good one, so, treat yourself to something fun and new from Scrappy Tails Crafts. So I encourage you to click on the links and just browse through the store at Scrappy Tails Crafts, because Sabrina actually puts a lot of pictures of different projects with each of the dies and stamp sets and stencils. And so you get lots of ideas when you just visit the store. So click on one of those affiliate links and just browse. It'll really inspire you. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. Have a wonderful day, friends. Thank you so much for watching.